Hello everyone, my name is Perplexion and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today I wanted to discuss my opinion on the Selenopolis update. I will be accepting all opinions. All I ask is that you be respectful to not only me but everyone in the comment section. I hope your Thanksgiving is going really well so far for celebrating it. And I apologize if I sound a little off. I have a bit of a cold, so that's that. But while I do think this update is pretty good, there are a few things I personally dislike about it. But overall, I think it's a pretty solid update. With all that out of the way, I'll go ahead and explain what I like about the update. The first part I like about Selenopolis is definitely the story. I'm a huge story type person, so I'm really thrilled about what Sam writes. I'm really thrilled about the dialogue. So, what interests me the most is that we find out that Celestians actually aren't from the Spiral, which is actually a very interesting case. They're definitely not from Earth either, so where could they come from? I want this to be more touched upon when we enter Arc 5, because I feel like Arc 5 is going to be where we meet this Earthborn that was mentioned, aka someone who made it into the Spiral from Earth, like us. So while we're the first person to step in the Spiral, we're definitely not the last. So I'm hoping we do meet this Earthborn. I'm wondering if she'll be like a villain, or she'll assist us on getting home. Assuming that's probably where we're going in Arc 5. Wait, I don't know where else we go at this point. Now the second part I like about Selenopolis, it has to be the difficulty. In my experience, the difficulty of the bosses aren't too bad, especially because I like soloing. For Anubis, you just have to get low enough of health to be able to kill him, like say 30% or less. For Tara, just counter her heals and give her shields if need be. Ra just mimic what he does with the cloak blaze traps and hit with the amount of blaze traps, and so on. Did hear that some people struggle with Selenopolis bosses, which yeah, you might if you're like an offensive class. You'll probably have an easier time being a life death or ice. Maybe balance too. Like really, I think take your schools has thrived more in this in general. Um, I can't really speak on the difficulty too much because I've only played Life and Death, some of the easiest classes to play. But so far, the difficulty doesn't really suck all that much. But I'm planning to try out an offensive class next so I can get a feel on how difficult it might actually be for more offensive classes. And I also, do like the fact Kansu is soloable, like on every class. Like he's pretty dang easy. It is a little disappointing that it is an easy battle, but I guess that's what challenge mode's for. And I guess it does make sense he polymorphs because he created a moon school in the first place. So I guess that is a pretty cool concept. I do like that type of concept, but I do wish the battle was a bit harder. Now, one of my favorite parts of this update has to be the spells and the spell fusions. I like the fact that still go off the spell quest. Rather than handing the spells as we quest, it feels earned and it brings back the older days for our old professor who calls the spell quest. The spell fusion and spell weave is also a pretty cool concept in my opinion. People say it's mainly useless in PvE, and I won't argue with that. But even then, there are auras, waves, traps you can still take advantage of from the trees. Surge being the most notable one, as the waves he gives you are strong. Spell fusion may be useless in PvE, but that won't stop me from using it, because, I'm a dual schooler, Like, I was already thrilled for this update, even before it came out, because I was already planning on dual schooling more in PvE, sorry, not PvP. I was planning on dual schooling more in PvE, and I want to change up my playstyle a little bit. Instead of it just being blade, fade, hit whatever, I want it to be a bit more fun. Like maybe I'll actually set up gambits. Maybe I'll actually use creative combos. Like, instead of just hitting and stuff like that, because that kind of stuff got pretty boring. And let me just say, so far, doing Fire on the Life and Storm on the Death, it was pretty fun so far. It is pretty situational, which is why I understand some people don't like spell weaving in PvE, but it actually works pretty well. Now, I really like the music. I really adore this area's soundtrack. My favorite one probably has to be the Selenopolis theme itself, especially the climax of the theme that goes on for about 30 seconds. I think that has to be my favorite part. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's just so good. It's so good. Like, I literally listen to that theme just for that part. I'll play it right now. Next up, I think the gear farming is also what I like about this. I don't really need the gear because I've already farmed Nightmare and all that, but it's kind of optional if I still need jewels or if I probably need another certain piece that I wouldn't bother getting in Wallaroo, because one of the people's main complaints were that same stats, basically Reaver gear, basically Stalker gear. Yeah, I can somewhat see why people would dislike that. I can see that. But, I don't mind it too much because no new level cap right now. So, I don't really care too much about the lack of new gear. And honestly, I really like the looks of the avatar pieces at least. Especially the robe. The robe is awesome. The wand, it's alright. I tend to use it in the stitch, but I really do like the avatar gear. I think it's pretty dope. I really like how I even changed up my wizard's appearance a little bit. Like I got rid of her glasses, got rid of her green eyes, turned to white, got rid of her face paint, and put on a white hairstyle. I think it looks pretty cute. And my life wizard needed a new change to her appearance for quite some time. So I'm really happy that we somewhat have this new gear. It also doesn't feel as tedious as Wallaroo's farming was. I think about half the farming spots are just one fight, which is great. It's Selenopolis at least. Like what, Konsu and Taking Tree, I think? Yeah, we may have got the same gear for last year, but with different looks. Which, I don't mind. I don't mind that a lot. For now, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much all I like about this update. There's probably more things I'm liking about this update that I'm missing, but for now I think that's it. It gives me quite a lot to do. It gives me more builds I want to create, gives me more stitches I want to create. With all of this in mind, these reasons are why I actually like this update, despite probably not being a popular opinion. However, while I do like this update, but it doesn't mean it's perfect. No update is perfect, especially if different people have different perspectives on it. I'll go ahead and state what I dislike about this update. Now, first of all, the bugs. The bugs really annoy me. I really hate how many bugs come to life, bro. Especially since they brought tests down for a few days during a week. You'd think some bugs would be fixed, but I guess not. Some will fix the test, bro, which I appreciate, but not all of them. I don't know exactly all the bugs, but I'll try my best to state my opinion on those I'm most familiar with. And if you want, you guys can tell me about some I may have missed in the comment section. First up, we have the fishing bug. Basically, in test run, players would crash if they tried wearing a fishing spell for a fishing trainer. Players would only try to wear fishing spells for spell weaving, because let's be real, not that many people care about fishing. As a result of the crashes, KI took away the fishing spells for the fishing trainers while they work on fixing them. The issue is, though, that comes to live room. Players still weren't able to wear fishing spells, therefore they'd probably be forced to do labors they wouldn't want to do for the weaving quest. Me, personally, I didn't have an issue because, well, I did my fishing way before this update. I tried the spells I needed. For other players, though, this was frustrating. I understand why. They have fixed this issue a few days ago after maintenance, which is nice, but there's still more bugs to talk about. Now, we have Team Up. Team Up, I'm not absolutely sure if absolutely everyone deals with this. One of my friends farm Mother's Son, a side quest boss. Her instance is rather weird. Whenever he tries to me up for a kiosk, as soon as he enters an instance, he gets booted out. This always seemed to solve for him when he teamed up from the sigil itself. He saw other players get booted out, however. I'm not sure if it's the only instance that has this issue, but regardless, it's need to be fixed. The Bazaar. The Bazaar revamp and concept is cool, but there's issues with it. I'm not 100% sure on what, but apparently Bazaar Boss are dominating it. Sold items will be immediately session up, as players are faster to switch to the buy tab from the sell tab and such. It takes longer to navigate because of the revamp. They apparently fixed some of it, but not all of it. I really do hope they do soon, because, you know, the Bazaar is kind of like, you know, the most important thing in the game, probably the weaving quest. This isn't a bug in particular, but this is something that update I have an issue with. As everyone who's done or seen weaving probably knows, there are quests where you polymorph into a certain creature. These quests contain dungeons that take up to an hour to complete, especially if you solo it. I'm not saying the quests should be extremely easy, because they totally are if you know what you're doing, but it's tedious. Bosses and mobs have a decent bit of health, and there's 3 battles you must do. They can all take pretty long. I last did a weaving quest for Storm. That took an hour. I like the concept, as it's like the Catform combined with Beast Move, but I feel like it could have been executed based on the amount of health the enemies have, or the amount of battles there are. People shouldn't need to buy a henchman to complete a weaving quest, and we definitely don't have to if they don't want to, but it's a huge time saver. I say the health of the mobs and the boss should be decreased by a bit. I say the health of the mobs and boss should be at least decreased by a bit. Allowing the player to go first to class is a good start, but maybe the health of the people we fight should be decreased a little. People I know have been discouraged from doing the quest because of this. What do you think? My conclusion. Overall, I really like this update and what it brings to the game. It's not an absolute 10, but it's definitely somewhere around an 8 if I had to rate it. The farming feels easier, the music's awesome, the story's awesome, new spells and concepts are awesome, and it gives you another incentive to play the game. The thing I'm most excited for is Arc 5. After this, I think I have a bit of hope I'll enjoy it after I didn't enjoy Arc 4 all that much. What are your opinions on the update? What do you think it could change to make it better? I'd love to hear your responses. Thank you for 100 subscribers, and thank you for hearing me ramble on and on with my favorite updates. With all that out of the way, I'll see y'all next time. Have a lovely Thanksgiving. Bye!